Welcome to my new nature show, and today it's all about birds, and in particular the giant condor, a derivative of the vulture. And did you know that there are two types, the Andean and the Californian? They're the biggest flying land bird in the northern hemisphere. They can have a wingspan of up to 10 feet. No, really, don't worry, we're not talking birds, we're still doing trading. It's just a bad link into an options strategy called the Condor. And if you know anything about profile, payoff charts in options, you'll know why it's called the Condor strategy. Don't worry, I'll explain that in the video for you. But seriously, this is a great strategy to be trading, especially if you want to create an income from the options world. It works very well in the stocks arena, and I'm going to pull the strategy to pieces for you, show you how you can find stocks to trade around this strategy, and pretty much cover off everything you need to know about it to give you the confidence to go out and put it into your trading armory. So with that, let's have a look at this strategy. There's really not a lot of complexity to this strategy. The main idea behind it is that you want to create an income by putting a combination of puts and calls together around a particular market structure, and that structure is a direction neutral, sideways, low volatility market, and that really is all you need to know. So now, with that idea in our heads, I'm going to go into those payoff profiles that I talked about, why the strategy is called the Condor, and we'll see how we can put the strategy together with the basic puts and calls. So once you've put the strategy together, this is what it looks like, the risk profile, the payoff of this strategy. Now this is where it gets its name from. The payoff, the P&L, the profit and loss, is supposed to resemble a large bird, and we know the large bird is the condor. So let me just overlay the condor just to cement the idea. So there you go. So what does all this mean then for us from the options trading point of view? How do we put together this payoff profile chart? We're going to dig into where the risks and rewards are later, but first of all, let's put it together. So we're going to buy one lower strike out the money put, sell one lower middle strike out the money put, sell one higher middle strike out the money call, and buy one higher strike out the money call. So there's 4 different options positions that we are looking at. Essentially though, it's a combination of a bull put spread and a bear call spread, a bit more complex by the nature of putting the 4 pieces together, but really not that tricky if you follow the rules. And because we've done that, we have created an income setup for ourselves. So let's visualize those parts then. So from the left, we are buying the lower strike put, then we are selling the lower middle strike put, and then we're selling a higher middle strike call, and then we're finishing off with buying a higher strike call, and putting it all together, that equals our long iron condor. Notice how you are buying the wings and selling that middle body part, and it's that middle body part that's going to generate you the income, and the wings are going to add the security around the structure. So the beauty of this trade is it creates a net credit for you. There's no cost, it's an income trade. That's what we want. It's got the risks managed to the up and the downside. But one big tip here is watch out for the broker bid offer spread killing the trade. And what about the risks then? Well, the max risk to you is actually capped, so it's something that can be easily managed. And if you want to know the formula for calculating the max risk, it's the difference in the adjacent strikes minus the net credit. And on the flip side, the upside to the trade, well, the max reward is also capped. It's that income that we're making, it's the net credit received for putting that structure together. So both the up and the downside are nicely managed with this trade, which to me adds extra strength to why you'd want to put this trade on. So let's go back to our risk profile to start visualizing the risk and reward. Red shaded areas are where we're going to lose. The green shaded area is where we are going to make our income, and you can see it's all in the middle there. That's suggesting that we don't want the price to move. We want low volatility. It's got to stay within that green range. If it goes into the wings, we lose. It's as simple as that. And where are the break-even points on this trade? Well, there's two of them. There's one to the upside, which is the upper middle strike plus the net credit, and the downside one, which is the lower middle strike minus the net credit. So let's just go back to the profile chart to see where they are exactly. So the two stars there, that's where we break even to the upside or the downside. So factor that in to when you're setting up this trade, how far, how wide you want that, middle portion, the max reward section, in relation to the max risk from where you start to break even. We're going to have a look at a few rules around that shortly. So I've got 6 important rules here that you need to be aware of. The first one is the length. The expiry of the trade we're putting together here needs to be less than 1 month. That's so we can control the risks, to sort of minimize the costs to our trade, maximize the potential for the trade to finish range bound within that zone. Now all those 4 parts of the trade, number 2 there, all the option expiries have to be the same, and you want to create equal distances between each strike price, number 3 there. Number 4, make sure, and it might seem obvious, but the short put strike is less than the short call strike. And 5, make sure stocks are or will be range bound. And finally, look for stocks or whatever other instrument you're trading, carrying low volatility at the time. And we're going to look into 5 and 6 in more detail in a minute. Now, purely for the purposes of this video, I've put this example together, so please don't read too much into it. It's completely made up. Like I said, just to give you an idea of how to put things together. I've jumped into my broker first trade. They've got something called Options Play Simulator, where you can put together ideas. And for this example, I'm going to use Tesla, fans' favourite. They haven't been doing so well lately. Price has fallen down, as you can see in the charts here. It might be your point of view, and for whatever reason you got to that point of view, that the price is now going to move sideways. So you're thinking, well, actually, a long iron condor trade might be just the bag for you to make some money here as the price consolidates before it moves off to its next destination. So I put together the 4 legs. You can see they've got $50 increments between each. The June expiry I've picked. It's a monthly option, this one. Maybe I should have gone for the weeklies. It's 37 days. Ideally looking for maybe late 20s for the trade. And you can see how much each leg costs. Now, drilling into this trade, because it's made up, it's got a pretty good risk return here. The cost of the trade is that income, that credit to you of $3,840. Now, I put $10,000 of hypothetical money into my trade idea here to cover the trade. The max risk to the trade is only $1,160. You can see in the risk profile payoff set up here. That's a tasty looking trade, really. So that's really a simple way of putting together a trade idea within your broker and start to get you thinking of how to put these trades together, to get you up and running in this long iron condor strategy. One last thing you can do with the simulator here is move the price around to adjust what you can make or lose, see where you can win, lose. And as you can see, as we get near to the at the monies, or in the middle of the green zone, the price, we need it around that 800 area. We can see actually the break evens of $711 and $838 on this trade idea. And again, you know, if the price keeps on going up, we lose. If it falls a lot, we lose, but that sweet spot is nicely in the middle there for our 100% return and our income. So there you go, an idea just expressed here in a broker platform. Your broker, if you don't use First Trade's, probably got a very similar tool that you can start to put together and practice putting together these type of trades. Getting in and out of the trade is pretty simple, and it's obviously, if you're doing well, the trade's winning, you just unravel those 4 legs. If you're more experienced, you might just want to take off individual parts and create, you know, maybe some different spread type trade scenarios as the stock price or whatever asset you're looking at morphs into a new, you know, environment in terms of price. And again, if it's going wrong, the trade, it's a case of just unraveling those positions. Go back into your broker, hit the opposite button, the buy, the sells, to get out of them. One other risk factor I want to just point out here for the iron condor trade, the long iron condor trade, is theta, and that's the Greek risks, and you might or might not be aware of them, but simply it's the cost of holding the trade, and is one of the reasons why we have that expiry short term, is to minimize the holding cost. And you've got to remember, if the trade isn't going well for you, it's losing, it's going to cost you money to hold. If it's winning, it's fine, you know, it's going to be making you theta in terms of the trade. So just something to be wary of in terms of the Greek risks. So there you go, you now know how to get in and out of the trade. The next big question, I guess, for you is, well, how do I find these stocks or assets to trade in the first place? Well, that's what we're going to look at next. Now, in my opinion, there's 2 ways of finding long iron condor trades to put together. One is by using signaling services or scanning type tools. Now, I've got one in front of me here. It's called Bar Chart, website barchart.com. It's free and paid, but they have a area called options, and under it you can see they filter on their rule set to find different types of strategy. And we do have a long iron condor one. We click on there and it tells you about the strategy. As it loads up, we can see it then lists all these stock symbols, the probability of the event happening, the expiry date, the legs, all that information for you. If you're going to use these type of scanning tools, then I suggest you also do your due diligence very thoroughly. Don't just follow them blindly, because that will probably end up costing you an arm and a leg. These are just ideas for you to follow up on. Now, the second way, and which is I think the best way to find these stocks, is by using technical analysis. Remember what we're looking for. We're looking for range bound, sideways moving or potentially sideways moving stocks with low volatility. So we need the indicators, the tools, to help us, you know, filter out or at least find those stocks that we want to be starting to put together, you know, the iron condor trade. So I've thrown a whole load of ideas into this chart for you to take away and think about. I'm going to break through a few of them just so they make a bit more sense. You can see my thinking on how to find these type of trades. Now, first up into the price, well, we're looking at General Motors on the daily chart here. I've drawn on simple trend lines. Okay, so we just want the sideways price action. See, it's bouncing in between. That could be our assumption that price is between there and there. And that's how we want to build our strikes as well. We want the price to stay within that range. So we can use that to then work out where to build the different parts of the legs of the Iron Condor strategy. You could also maybe use Fibonacci again to create some zones for you. So you might want a tight zone between that 0 and 23.6, but why not the 0 and 38.2? Quite a wide trade there, but again, use those for potential areas of, you know, the legs to be placed. So let's get rid of those lines, and maybe why not use Bollinger Bands? Bollinger Bands is a volatility measure. The tighter they are, the lower the volatility, the wider the higher the volatility. Use the price between those bands maybe to set up a trade. Marry it in with something like the average true range or historical volatility. See where they are heading in their direction. It's been quite stable low. Maybe add a moving moving average on top of the indicator. We could do something like this. Then we change the settings, maybe set it to 50, 30, whatever you backtest or find that suits you. And you can say, well, actually volatility is trading under the current average, it's lower. You know, that's a typical example that you could use. Now, heading down to the bottom, there is actually a tool, the directional movement indicator, that does try to define whether something's trending and ranging, and it's this ADX line, this pink line here. The basic rule sets are, you know, if it's over 25 it's trending, if it's less than it's ranging. So maybe build that in as well. And another couple of tools just randomly thrown into the mix. Darvas box tool. At the moment it's not there, but maybe we could draw a trend line there and trend line there to create the box. But price is trading quite nicely in that range. That's your body of the option strategy, wings either side possibly. And finally we've got Donchian channels. Again, you could adjust the length of those, say price is trading within it, out are the wings again. So very simply, it's case of putting together a structure around the technical analysis that allows you then to scan for stocks, and then allows you, like I say, to put those four legs together in a sensible place, rather than just randomly picking like we did in that example with the Tesla earlier, you know, the $50 increments. Have a look at the stocks, see where the volatility's got to, how is it ranging, trading, using simple things like flags, pennants, triangles. Look for the consolidation, add on these indicators. Now if you want to learn more about this technical analysis, I've got all sorts of other videos available for you to watch around all of these sort of topics. So I suggest, if you want to take this strategy further, dig in and learn from them as well. But hopefully that's given you some sort of idea how you can start to think about putting together the long iron condor trade. Hopefully you'll agree with me that after looking at the video that the long iron condor trade is a really good one for creating income. The key is to calling the range, finding that using technical analysis or scanning tools, as we also looked at, giving you the rules to follow, how to think about putting the trade together. You now know pretty much all you need to know on the long iron condor trade. Get some experience, get some practice, and hopefully you can make some good money from it. So if you like today's video, please give us the thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell buttons to receive further content that I'll be producing like this. And also don't forget to dig into the existing content there if you want to learn more about options trading, technical analysis, pretty much anything to do with trading, it's in there. So I say hit that subscribe button, it would be much appreciated. So all that's left for me to say now is thanks for watching, good luck with the trading, and I'll see you in the next video.